So today I'm going to try my hand at making a very quick birria taco. These are moist tacos that are drenched in this delicious broth that's normally made with like goat meat in like a crock pot or in a Dutch oven, slow cooked with all the juices and fat. And then you have this delicious broth you can dip your taco in. But today, I'm going to make a super fast and simple, easier version of that. Which go ahead and buy broth and make a sauce on its own. And then go ahead and use already cooked, ready-made brisket. I'm going to have chopped brisket in my taco instead of goat meat or any kind of other meat or stewed meat. I'm going to make my own sauce. So this is going to be very juicy. And what's not pictured here is some Monterey Jack cheese with this corn and flour blend tortilla. These are, obviously made with corn and flour, so they get that corn taste, but they're soft and fluffy, and they're delicious. I'm gonna try. I've never really used this before, but I'm gonna try to put a little bit in the sauce. I'm guessing this is gonna be more for my tomato base, and this bone broth from H-E-B. It says it's good enough to sip on, or sip for cooking and sipping. Who drinks bone broth? I'm not sure, but you can read there. Okay. Savory. Huh. Well, let me try that out. When I bought it, it had a little bit of fat at the bottom. I shook it up. I guess it's the bone fat from the beef. So this is a good brand. This is a good brand. You need these chipotle peppers with. This is your enchilada sauce. This is you make this the traditional way. You buy your dry chilies and you toast them, and then you soak them in hot water, and then you blend them in a blender jar, and then you strain it, and you get pretty much this. So I'm skipping all that step also. So this is speeding up the process. This is going to add smoke. This is really, these two are your base here, the broth and the beefy flavor, and with these tomatoes already made up from Rick Bayless's company here. And then I might add a little garlic and oregano. So we're going to try this out. We're going to, after we get all the broth set up, we're going to dip this into the broth with hopefully I'm going to add some fat to it. So I got avocado oil to mimic some of the cooking fat that would come off the goat or the meat you would have rendered, you would have braised. So that's going to act as that part. So we're going to griddle this, and with the meat and cheese, it's going to be great. Let's get started. So now I'm going to try to make this broth here. I shook this up pretty good. I'm going to just try to measure things out so I can keep track of where I'm at and measuring wise. In case I don't like it, I can start over and try a different approach. So in a big bowl, I'm adding just a cup of this broth, and I'm going to add probably about half of this and see how it goes from there, and just taste it and see if I can balance it out better with the tomatoes. And we'll just test it out and see what works best. And this is the avocado oil I'm going to use for the fat part. People like using the rendered fat after cooking the meat and frying or griddling these tacos together. And when you get a bag from the barbecue shop here, and it's got oil on it, you know it's going to be good. You're dripping out barbecue goodness, let's just say. So I added one chopped of these chipotle peppers. I just added one, and let's go from there. It's pretty powerful flavor, so once you add it, you can't go back. So we'll start off slow, and I'm going to add some of this enchilada sauce. This is your chili sauce here. All your chilies. I think that's about half a can. Then I'm going to put some of this roasted tomatoes in here. So I added about half this bag of 7 ounces in here, and I whisked it up. It smells good, so I'm going to taste it, See what the balance of everything is. It's definitely brothy. So if that's what we're going for, that's it. I'd probably say add another chipotle pepper at this point, which I'll do now. Okay, added another pepper. It's definitely got some kick now. Added another of the chipotle peppers. This point, I don't think I'm gonna need the garlic because this has already have garlic in there, and there's garlic more likely in this too. So I can taste the garlic. It tastes pretty good now. It's a blend of exactly what you think about it. It's tomato. It has the chili flavor in there, the broth, and the chipotle peppers. You really need those chipotle peppers. I almost skipped that step in buying this stuff. You really need that. That's really what's going to make it smoky, and that it's gonna really do well with this broth here. So definitely add that to it. So I guess chop up the brisket and get started making some of these griddled up tacos. These wonderful, tasty, juicy tacos. Heating up the old cast iron skillet around medium. So I'll get everything in place. Here's my brisket that I just bought. This is a moist. They had a lean and a moist, which is, I guess the moist means it has more fat in it. This is probably a little bit over a pound. I bought 2 pounds, so I'm not going to use all of it for making tacos. I might save some for tomorrow for a sandwich or something. This came with it. This is like a few slices of bread, and they had these peppers there to go, so I grabbed these. And here's my cheese I'll be adding, pepper jack. So that's about it. I'm going to chop this up and start making some tacos. Okay, take 2 on me trying to make this taco one-handed. It's a little hot. It's smoked and splattered everywhere, so I live in an apartment where the smoke detector is conveniently located right by the stove. So I have to make sure I have a fan pointing on there towards the smoke detector, which is probably you can hear in the background. Let this cool down and try it again. It's not so hot. There's smoke everywhere. Let's just try this one more time. Be right back after this pan cools down just a little bit. Okay, let's try this one more time. It's cooled down a little bit. Try dipping this again. Might have had a little bit too much oil in that pan. I added some of the avocado oil. There we go. Not as steamy and smoky and craziness going on. Add some cheese. Right. Add some of this brisket. Here. Might have got a little bit too cold on the pan. This is trial and error. I've never done this before. I'm not an expert on these types of tacos by any means, but it's the first time for everything. And this is a faster, quicker version. So keep that theme going. Faster and quicker. Alright. Let that settle in. Let that bubble up a little bit better. Crisp up with all that oil in there. This is very tasty. Oil, I'm assuming it's probably a little healthier for you than a vegetable oil. A little bit healthier than a vegetable oil, I'm sure. So we'll try that out. Okay, with further review, number 4 is probably the better spot to leave it at from the get-go, because it cooled down too much. So now it's taking its time to get back up to temp. Now before I fold it over, I add a little bit of the sauce in the inside here to baste the meat in my own concoction of the broth it should have cooked in. But that brisket, I tasted it, it's delicious. It's really smoky. If you ever go to Rudy's, it's really smoky, really delicious. And so just gotta check it here. Make sure it's not sticking, especially if you're using this cast iron skillet like I am. So this side here looks pretty good. Want a little bit more crispy, I'll flip it, back and forth to ensure crispiness. And I want to make sure I have enough oil in here, so I don't want this thing sticking. And it's all good. I might add a little bit more juice. Why not? Let that settle in. Let's flip it back and forth. See how it goes. And here you have the taco. It's not as crispy as I want it to be. These tortillas have flour in them, which might not be the best choice, but we'll try and see. So next, I'm going to try some more classic or regular corn tortillas and see if that helps out with the crispiness. I want a crispy, crunchy taco. This is soggy right there a little bit. This is good, but crispier is better. So we're going to try it with the corn and compare the two and see how it turns out. I think it's going to be a good idea. And also I think it's important to note that I didn't use the oregano in here. I don't think it needed it. It tastes good enough as it is. I didn't want to add another element that I might not like. So we're just going with that. And we'll be back in a few minutes with the regular corn. Right, so now we started over. I cleaned my pan and I added some more avocado oil. Dipped the regular corn tortillas, doubled up, and then placed it in the pan. It's heating up nicely. It's sizzling already, so we're going to try these corn ones out, and it should be delicious. Here's the other one from earlier. I hadn't tasted it yet. I'm about to bite into that. See how it is. Even though it's a little soggier than I want, you can taste that brisket. It's delicious. And then with this here in a minute, it's going to be dynamite. Okay, flipping it once, and adding a little more sauce this side. Get that flavor in there. Looking good. So, I about used up all my brisket meat. I got a little bit left. This was the first one. This was the second one. It was all corn tortilla. And then I went back to the flour and corn mixture tortilla. Each time I'm doing this, I'm getting better and better. This is crispy now. Made sure my pan was hot and I had enough oil in there. Now it's crispy. It's the grilled cheese of tacos. That's what this is. It's juicy. It's a little greasy, but they are frying this in fat on the recipe, so that's what it is. This one's good. Even the next one should be even better. So here we go. Every time I'm doing it, I'm getting better and better at this. Oops. And the finished product, these are the 4 that are the flour and corn mixed tortillas. They turned out delicious. I already ate 2 of them already. And serve it with your favorite sides, of course, cilantro and onion shower with these limes that you can add to this broth I had from earlier, which actually I added some of the brisket bits, some bits of the brisket in here, into this bowl. And I microwaved this bowl until it was boiling. So everything's super hot. You can see it steaming a little bit with your tacos here. And they're already juicy, but these tacos are like the grilled cheese of tacos. And then that brisket, I'm telling you, it's so smoky. Oh, hot. That's good right there. Oh, you can add some Cholula to your broth if you like. Make it a little bit more spicy. I think I will do that too. These are something else. Look how crispy that is. And cheesy and gooey. Pepper jack cheese. I started to run out, so I had to mix some mozzarella in there. For the last couple one, it turned out really good. I added these bits to this broth to help add some more of the flavor of the brisket in there. It's a great idea. No hot. And that lime juice is good in there too. But I'll definitely, with 2 hands, put some cilantro and onion on these tacos on the inside and enjoy them. I hope you do this recipe. I hope you enjoy it. This didn't take no time at all because I didn't cook for 6 hours in the oven or a crock pot. Just mixed up the broth. Maybe 45 minutes to cook all this and get everything ready. Really good, really tasty. This is one of the best things I've ever made. No doubt about it.